helped me through so that I had the information, so the next time she started asking me questions, I had some answers for her.
And I was the opposite. I didn't want to look online at all because in my head, I was like, this is already bad. If I look online, I'm going to find out a million other worse things, and I just don't even want to know about it because this already sucks. So I just stopped right there.
And right in the middle of all this, she's in a volleyball tournament, huge volleyball tournament. Hundreds and hundreds of girls in there. I hadn't slept more than a couple hours a night. I hadn't eaten in days. I was so shaky I could barely walk. My parent, and I'm like, I'm one of these mothers that's always going to be at a volleyball. Okay, so I was, next time. Anyway, I just kept thinking, in this volleyball tournament, why me? Why my kid? Why does I have to be here? She's the only one in this whole place. You know, how did I get this luck of the draw? Why couldn't I win a lottery or something fun, you know?
And I kind of felt the exact opposite. When I was in large groups of girls, I was like, which one of you has MRKH? Because I'm not the only one out here. So every single girl I seen, I wanted to ask her, like, do you know if you have a uterus or not? Like, have you gone to the doctor? Because I think you don't have one, and I want to be friends with you. Like, that's how I felt. And I mean, same with my friends and my little cousins. I wanted all of them to go to the doctor right away and be like, do you have a uterus? Because I didn't know if I had one until I was 18, so I wanted them to find out now. I didn't want them to wait until they were 18 like me, but I'll get to that. Like, it was great when I found out, but go ahead.
And as we were waiting for the answers, she said, I went to all of our family members to discuss what was going on with Amanda. We live in an extremely small town. All of her aunts, uncles, and cousins, the majority of them, 98% of them, we all live within about a mile of each other. We're talking a school that graduates like 45 people per class. We're that little. So everybody knows everything. So they knew we were upset. You know, if they haven't seen us wherever, they're, you know, go up to QD and they see how upset we are. So I went to each family because she wanted me to, and had a talk with each one of our family members. But I made sure when I started telling them about it, I would say, she, you know, first off, she's okay. Maddie has something wrong with her, but she's okay. This is not a life-ending thing, but it's a life-altering situation. And that's kind of how I addressed it, so that they didn't, I mean, because they were in a panic mode, just me walking on their doorstep. Everybody was we have a very, very supportive family. The one funny part was my mother-in-law, which we didn't know had early-stage Alzheimer's at the time. We tell her, and she says, didn't come from my side of the family. Okay.
And I really was just fine with my family knowing. I didn't have the courage to actually tell them because I didn't know how to put the words in my mouth without breaking down. But the reason why I really wanted my family to know, because like she said, we're in a small town and small classes and everything, is rumors start so quickly. And that's kind of important for you guys to realize. Like, I know you don't want to talk about it right now, and you don't always want to talk about it to people, but by having either my mom or someone tell the people closest to me, that's the way rumors can start. If people knew exactly what was happening, you couldn't start rumors, because she told my family, but some of my friends didn't know, so I already had people start talking, like, I was asking Adam, is your girlfriend pregnant? Is this going on? So, like, you don't want those rumors to start. So by having her tell my family was able to have my back. So they didn't really talk to me, but my aunts and my cousins, when someone would come and say, what's wrong with Amanda, what's going on? Is she pregnant? And they'd say, no, she's not pregnant, but she's got something else going on, and we need to be sensitive to it. So it's a good way to stop rumors from starting.
And even with the rumors, my sister had heard one. She worked in the town by us, and she said, oh, we heard that there's some girl from Fowler. She doesn't have any female, she looks like Barbie doll. She has no female parts. And we're like, my sister's like, I think you might be talking about my niece, and no, that's not the case, you know. So they could defend off the rumors too. But you gotta know, when I'm talking little, I'm talking a little. If you guys are sitting right here, she would be related to at least 75% of you, because my husband is from town. I mean, that's really how little we are. And also just spreading information. Maybe I'll talk about this later, and I'll skip it if I do. I tell everybody because she's comfortable telling everybody. People at work, now we happen to work in the same building, but most recently I figured the more you tell people, the more the word gets out there. And recently when they met with our priest about getting married, and they have to go to a natural family planning thing, and she explained to the priest, it's a mandatory thing, and she's like, I don't want to go. There's no reason for me to go. I can't have a baby, there's no reason. Oh, and the priest says, well, a lot of people have that.
We have a fix for that.
Yeah, we have a fix. A lot of parents or people can't have babies. They think it's just an infertility problem. She has to get more stern with them. No, you don't understand. I know. I mean, they got to buy. They don't have to go to the class. So it took us a few months for us to be able to get into U of M. And I think the biggest misconception on our part at that time, because we didn't know very much, was fix it. Let's get U of M. As soon as we get U of M, they'll have a fix for this. It's a surgery. We didn't know this is not a fixable situation. And then when we came here, we had to talk to Dr. Quinn, who met her, and a psychologist for me and Amanda. And she was sent for some more blood work and x-rays. And after realizing that everything was fine, we didn't realize there were all these other components to it. So then after we realized her spine was fine, she's healthy, her kidneys are fine, she's got both of them, she has ovaries, they're where they're supposed to be, she's got eggs in them, and we know everybody's not that fortunate.
Yeah, once I found out it was possible for me to have all these other defects, which unfortunately a lot of you guys do too, I was like, well, this is exactly why I didn't Google it before. Because if I would have Googled it before, I would have thought I had every single one of those. So like, it just kind of was reaffirming to me that, yep, this is why I didn't look it up. Because I am normal, and there was no reason for me to worry about all those things. Because not normal, I don't want to say normal, but that I only have this part of MRKH. So why worry about all this part of MRKH years ago when I actually only have this? So it's helpful to get those tests done right away too if you are unsure.
And then after we were talking about our options with Dr. Quinn, she suggested the starting of the dilation as the first step. And I really, to this day, believe that her starting that dilation was the beginning of the healing. So everything before that was out of our control. I didn't know what to do. She didn't know about it. We didn't know what to do. She couldn't control her own body. Her body did what it wanted. That's the way it was born. But her starting dilation is, okay, I'm in control now. We're going to do this. And it just was the beginning of what I saw the healing in her, which obviously helped the healing in me.
And I'm like a super duper competitive person, so I had this strong determination that I was like, you can't tell me that I can't have a uterus, or not a uterus, a vagina. Like, it's not possible. You tell me I can't have a vagina, I'm gonna have a vagina. I'm gonna make sure it happens. So like, I started dilation right away, and I'm like, we're gonna do this 2, sometimes 3 times a day, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't care what it takes. I'm having this vagina. So it was really me being able to take control of the situation and feel somewhat normal again. I'm just pushing through. And at this time, really, I wasn't thinking about my uterus because I didn't really care. I wasn't ready. I cared, but I didn't. I wasn't ready to have kids. There was nowhere in the near future for me. So it was really, in my mentality, was let's get this vagina because we need to use it sometime soon.
Yeah, I had a conversation in the doctor's office, and I'm like, oh my God, here I am Catholic. I don't necessarily believe in premarital sex, and I'm going on, and Dr. Quinn says, well, you realize this is why we're doing the dilation, right? It's like, oh God, that's okay, I get it.
Yeah, so with my parents' support during dilation, they were pretty good about it. They just kind of let me be. I mean, it's a little awkward. They know what you're doing in your room with your door shut, but they just let me be. They didn't ask me a lot of questions. It was already embarrassing enough to do that, just give me my space. But it was important to realize with my mom, like, normally she's an open book and she just always wants to ask me questions, what's going on? Like, typically she would have been like, Amanda, so is it getting any longer? Like, how are you doing? But she wasn't like that at all. I expected her to do that, but she wasn't. So it was important for like my parents to realize to take conversations slow, and for me to realize eventually you'll get to that point where you can have deep conversations with your family and friends. But you don't even understand yourself, so take your conversations slow and you'll get there. Just like my extended family, they all knew, but nobody talked to me about it. Like, I knew they knew, we all knew, but we didn't talk about it until I brought it up. So, I mean, I just kind of used journals to begin with to start off, getting my feelings out and writing about what I was going through. It just kind of helped get words out there without actually having to talk to people. So my biggest thing with that is you just need to know that everyone's going to go through stages of confusion, kind of like I said with Ada before. You just need to give them time to understand before you expect them to have a good conversation with you about it.
As we were able to talk more freely on the subject without constantly crying, the healing started. It says, as Amanda started asking me more questions, and I had answers to some of them, I felt that we both started dealing and accepting what was going on. One thing I did, because she could work on her dilation, but how am I going to help her make this better? What I had decided to do, and she didn't know for a while that I had this, I started what I call a baby fund. And I have in my bank account just any extra money I had. I put it in there, so this is your baby fund. So when it gets time for surrogacy or adoption, whatever, this money is for your baby. She's now started one of her own too. We figure some people have Christmas accounts, we just have a baby account.
I mean, it helps a ton right now. We're going to get married soon, so we're starting to think about surrogacy, adoption, what's going on. And right now, I started with only $5, but I've bumped it up to $10. So every single paycheck, $10 goes to my baby fund now. It seems like such a small amount, but within so many years of every single paycheck, $10, like I'm not even gonna miss $10 every other week. But it's gonna add up so much to be able to help us in the future. So I think that's huge. Like, it makes me feel like it's not gonna be so hard for the next steps.
And also, as she was saying with the giving her space, we did give her space. Just give her as much time as she needs to do whatever she needs to grieve with it. But let her come to you, and I also suggest buying stock and lube. Because you go through a lot of that if you're using dilation especially.
It's true, and she bought a ton, like a ton. But it was good because, I mean, I just had one time of being embarrassed. Rather than every time be like, hey mom, I need some more lube, like, want to run to the store with me? It was just like, one time, embarrassed, I got it, I run out, grab more, done. So that was really great. So yeah, I guess another part of like going from sadness to better, I finally started talking to my brother a little bit about it, and he was away at college, and he texted me, and he was just like, the best learning points in life come when you have to struggle. Take this as an opportunity to learn about yourself and figure out how this can make you a stronger and better person. And about that exact same time, like that just kind of hit me like a stick, like, holy crap, I can be a better person from this. And around the same time, Dr. Quint was telling me about these conferences, and me and Mom looked like, I don't know if we're ready to go to those conferences, like, what am I gonna learn, all this. But when he said, like, I'm struggling, I can become better, and she told me about this conference, I was like, well, here's my opportunity, let's do this, let's go to our first conference. So when we went, Courtney was literally the first person that I seen there. Like, she walked in, I walked in, and instant, like, we didn't have to say anything to each other, we had a connection. It was
I wonder if that's one of them.
Yeah, we did. I was like, well, is that a mom? Is that one of them? Is that a doctor? Who is that? But it was just there. It was the best feeling. Yeah, yeah. We were all short, brown hair, we looked the same, like, this is just weird. So, I don't know, it was just really great, and every single conference has gotten better. It's gotten easier. The next year I come, and turns out this girl's sitting like down the table from me. She's like, hey, Amanda? I was like, yeah, I recognize her. And she's like, hey, it's Elizabeth, I'm from Westphalia. She lives 2 miles away from me. 2 miles away from me. Like, I didn't even want to come to this conference, and now I just met this girl that's 2 miles away from me, and I'll show you pictures of her later. Like, we went and got tattoos together, all these great things, and every single year, I've been here for 6 years now, every single year I've made a new friend. Every single time, and I've learned something new every time. And it's so great to be in a room with 4 girls for your first time, and now I'm here with hundreds of you, like hundreds, 100. It's just mind-blowing. I absolutely love it. It's great.
And one thing I was going to mention too before this is the really hard determining what is a teenage mood and what is an MRKH related mood.
Like right now, I'm pretty sure I'm on my period. I don't even know if I'm like just angry or.
You know, is she biting at me when I say something because she's feeling bad and going through a depression, or is it really is it part of her cycle? That's a tough one. So what you do, you just kind of go have a glass of wine. That's what I do.
Yeah, I mean, I was very naive at first. I thought, I don't have a uterus, I'm not gonna have a period, so I'm not gonna have any of those symptoms. I'm just gonna be a happy girl, like never be grumpy. But no, I was way wrong. Like, I still get bloated feeling, I still get grumpy towards people, I just start crying randomly. Like, that all does happen, it's not gonna go away.
And as we met, the more people we met and talked to here at the conferences, it's just in talking to people in general too, it has made it easier. It has been more healing. I mean, I'm a talking person. Like I said, don't get stuck in an elevator with me, because it won't be silence, because silence makes me nervous. I don't know why, but I get it from my father. He's way worse than I am. On the topic of when we were finding out, I'm thankful that we didn't find out any earlier. If there ever was a good time, hers was a good time to find out. And so we're gonna put this picture up?
Yeah, you can finally see some pictures now.
You can see some pictures. This was right before we found out. Okay, my husband and I had our 25th wedding anniversary. We took our kids on an adventure in West Virginia because if it wasn't for the kids, we probably wouldn't have been married 25 years. So we figured they should be celebrating it with us. So this was our trip to, this was actually in Ohio, and they went zip lining. And you flip to the next one. And that's Amanda jumping off the edge of the cliff. Okay? Or propelling off the end, I guess is what it is. We also went rock climbing. I don't have a picture of that one. Then we went whitewater rafting. You can see the chair and some of those people in the water, which is us. And that's Amanda jumping off a big cliff into the river. Now, why I'm showing that? In hindsight, this is a hindsight thing. The timing. The timing of this was, she just did all these things that she never thought she could do. You know, she was rock climbing, and the strength and the daring and the adventure and the excitement and she just went through all this, and this is right before our world fell apart. Her world fell apart. This picture meant nothing to her. She didn't even know what it was from. It's at Kalahari. We met my brother at Kalahari for our anniversary. This is the last picture I have of her that's in my head. This is the day or two before we went, and she had her diagnosis. So to me, this is a representation of the life as we knew it, the life before we were thinking about MRKH nonstop. So that's what that picture is. That was before our world blew up. Okay, and also I thought it was also good because it was right before her senior year. We had like a month before she started school, so we could discuss things. It was before she was going away to college. And so I could watch for her depression, if she had any depressions or stuff, because she was still at home. You know, a year later, she might have been away to college. Sooner, she may not have been mature enough for it. You know, sometimes I just believe in divine intervention that helps prepare you in whatever way you possibly could be prepared for the challenges that are going to come ahead of you.
And for the girls that haven't gone to college yet and are, you know, thinking about going away or staying home, community college, like this did have a big impact on me at the time. I decided to stay at a community college because I was still dilating. I didn't want to have to be in dorms and all that stuff. So I thought that was the case, like, let's just avoid it and stay home. But then after talking to a few other girls here, I realized that's not the case. So don't let MRKH hold you back. Don't let the dilation hold you back, because you can talk to the college and tell them that you have something going on, and they'll get you a separate room. They'll figure something out. So don't let that stop you, because part of me wishes that I would have just gone on to college and not stayed at community college, but I stayed there because of MRKH. And don't let that happen. Follow your dreams. Do what you got to do. Don't let it stop you.
My husband's like, what in God's name are you putting that picture up for? Look what a mess that is. Here's why I'm putting it up. I was afraid if I would have known any earlier, this is still a matter of timing, I would have either tried to protect her and not supply her with as many baby dolls as she absolutely wanted. She is and always has been a nurturer. Now, I know that she was preparing to love all babies, biological or not, whether it's cousins, dolls, some little kid walking in the street, the neighborhood kids, grown child, no matter what, she has options. And you can see by her sleeping there, of course, little type A too, as you see how they're all lined up. She had lots of baby dolls, and she always had a baby doll in her hand. And she has not let MRKH define her. She knew who she was. She had her personality, she had her beliefs, she had who she is.
Yeah, I mean, if I would have found out anything, sorry to cut you off, but if I would have found out any time when I was younger, I would have never focused on enjoying my life as a child. Because I'm a planner. I'm always thinking in advance, and I was when I was little. So if I would have been 10 years old, 8 years old, like really little, or even a baby finding out, because I know some people, their parents know when they're a baby. If I would have found out then, like, I would have not enjoyed my life at all with babies and stuff. I would have been constantly thinking, what am I going to do in 20 years when I need to have a kid? Like, it's good timing sometimes. Even though you think it sucks to find out when you're a teenager, it could be worse timings. Really, since I've had this time to go through the years of learning and coping and everything, it's helped me get stronger with my friends and build relationships with them and help them, because I recently had a friend that went through a miscarriage, and she was able to come straight to me because she knew that I'm used to going through a loss and knowing all these things. So I was kind of able to help mentor her through that, and that was really good for me. And also, back to the babies and stuff, I have a godson and little cousins, so that's my godson and his sister. So having them in my life makes me realize that no matter what, even if I want to surrogate, if that doesn't work out, if I want to adopt and that doesn't work out, I have these guys. These are my children. They can be for the rest of my life. I don't need to have a biological connection to be a mother. Like, I love them to death, and I'm going to spoil them to death. You don't have to have your own child be a mother.
Okay,
and that's my little cousin too. Sorry, to share that too.
Present time. Some of the struggles I still have. Biggest one probably is, especially with those guys being married, I'll be at work and people are like, oh, well, just wait till you have grandkids, they're so much fun. And there's that grandkid thing again, and you're like, it's like, yeah, maybe someday, you're trying to stop at that, and maybe someday, oh no, they come sooner than you expect. I said, well, let me tell you, first you think, my daughter can't have children. Oh, and then it's like, opportunity to teach somebody. So I use that as my opportunity. And another strange thing, sometimes, sadness comes when you're not even expecting it. Good day's going along, and Amanda tells me they're taking their dog in to get her fixed. I get an immediate upset stomach, I'm nauseated, I start tearing up. She's like, what? And I'm like, what's wrong with you? I was like, are you sure you want to do this?
Like, I don't want puppies around the house.
Who doesn't do anything to your uterus and now you're having your dogs pulled out? I mean, it's like...
And then it clicked to me, I was like, oh my gosh, so I called Adam, I was like, Adam, we can't do this. She's got to keep her uterus. Like, how can I take it away when I don't even have it? Like,
I knew it was better than a dog, but that's where it clicked. My brain went right back there.
And that's what's important to realize. You're going to have good and bad days. Like, I've known for 8 years, and I thought that I was great. I've gotten all the way through this. Like, I'm confident. I can talk to people, but then you have triggers like that, and it just happens. And that's why it's so important to have support groups, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's someone in this room here, just anyone, even if it's your dog. Like, it's just very important to have someone to connect with. And basically the most important thing MRKH has taught me is just to be true to yourself and those closest to you, because you can get through anything just by having that right there. And I know these conferences are scary, but I'm going to show you some pictures here too, because they are really one of the best things that's ever happened to me, along with the Beautiful You Foundation. That's helped me a ton too. Basically, we talked about this in our breakout group, but I have friends that know about this and they understand. But you guys actually truly feel what I feel, and it is just so great to be able to see that. The first picture over there on the left is 3 of us from the first conference.
I can't reach that.
And then the next one, you can see the group gets a little bit bigger. And then
that was at an after party.
That was an after party, so there was more at the convention, but still, it gets a little bit bigger. And then the next year, like, look at all those girls there. Holy cow! From going from there to here, it's absolutely awesome. And then let me see. Oh, this is my Christina. I think she's on there too. So like, she lives in Texas now. I feel like she's a sister to me. I feel like she's cool. You don't have to live right next to each other to have a bond with these girls. So it's really.
Oh, there's Christina.
Yeah, they think she is. So yeah, these are the next 2 years that we were at the after party again. But just those connections. Look at how happy everyone is to be able to be together. Like, it's a really great feeling. And the Beautiful You MRKH Foundation posts so much good stuff on there. So if you're not involved in that yet, I really think that's important to become a part of that, because I just noticed they post so many good things that MRKH is just normal to me. I get on my Facebook page and it's just all these good things about MRKH all the time. So like, it's just normal when someone talks about it. I'm like, what's weird about it? It's just, I see it all the time. I don't hide from it. It's just there. So I just want to remind you that really MRKH never goes away. Like I said, I accepted the initial feelings and got past the sex issues pretty quickly, but then now we're getting married and everything's being brought back to the front of my head. So like, recently I've been crying again, I've been getting upset again because I'm realizing it's coming back. And we talked about this in the older group a little bit, that you really go through stepping stones to help you grow, and the support system is there to help you through it. We kind of talked about how you had the sex issues, then you have the baby issues, and then you might go back, now that you have kids in the house, you might have sex issues again. And then after that, the kids grow up, and then your kids are want to have their kids, so then you have grandkids, and that brings back the kid issue again. So it's like, it's a flip-flop. You're gonna keep struggling, and just be true to yourself, and you'll get through it. Whether that's family, friends, MRKH, or if you have, oh, actually, this is Elizabeth. This is when we got our tattoo. She's the one that lives a mile away from me, so I just wanted to share that too. I forgot that slide was in there. And my fiance Adam, my mom and dad at the MRKH conference with us, so they were big supports. And this is another huge support system I have. Like we said, our small town family, I created these shirts a few years ago. And this picture up here is basically all of my family and cousins and close friends and the little babies. They all came together to share this, and now they wear their shirts around everywhere. People ask them about it, and they talk about it. It's awesome.
And her grandpa says, "What's MRKH again?" He's wearing a shirt. He says, "I can't remember what this means." So it's the thing Amanda's got.
Oh. Yeah. So then I have all my friends over here that couldn't make it to here. They all are supportive, even though, yeah, half of them don't even know what it means. But the fact that they can wear the shirt, they can wear it proud. You know, my granddaughter's got this, and it is okay. Or my daughter has this, and it is okay. But back where I was going, I keep reading. There's so many different support groups in here. But so this is even volleyball. I go to volleyball every Tuesday and Thursday, and that whole team supports me too. We made other shirts, and now when we play the game, people are like, "What is that shirt you're wearing?" gives us another opportunity to grow. So getting the word out there just helps so much to help you to grow. But this is the support system I was trying to get to. So we got Shelby. I put all my shirts on her, and you know she's there too. So you don't need. It doesn't necessarily need someone that can talk back to you. I can talk to Shelby all day long about not having a uterus because she don't have one either. So we can bond really well. So it's a great support system. So yeah. I guess this is the very last picture.
So I just want to say that I'm very proud of Amanda and how she's able to help other people with concern and passion. She's always there to explain things, to help somebody, even if it's not MRKH related. Seems to me she's one that people draw into, to talk to. This diagnosis has brought strength out of her that I'm not sure she would have quite realized at the young age that she was finding out. I mean, at 18, or even now, what are you, 25? I was there, I really was, but I get lose track. 25 is still pretty darn young to have the mentality and the strength that she has right now. We are extremely fortunate to have a very loving and close family and friends that will support Amanda. And then Adam. Adam's a rock. He's been with her since day one of the journey. He shared the up and downs with her and having his own emotions that he probably doesn't share as much as he should, but that's just not Adam. He'd rather go get something to eat, some chicken nuggets or something. But there are wonderful men out there, and hopefully each and every one of you that's looking for one will find that man in your life. And I wanted to let you know that although talking about this all the time when you're at a healing process, it still scratches at your heart a little bit, because your heel is kind of like a scab that you keep picking off, but the scab gets a little thinner each year, so it doesn't hurt quite as much. It's still worth opening up the wound, just if it touches one person out here, that you got anything from our rambling on up here. And we want to be an inspiration for those who are struggling with acceptance, to know it is possible. Everyone might not get to it, but it is possible. And with acceptance, hopefully, that you will find happiness. So life is not perfect. We don't always get what we want. Reflect, pray on it. Try to keep up your attitude. It says being bitter, sad, and always mad at the world is not going to allow the beautiful you to show through. So you are special, you are unique, you are one of a kind, and you're worthy of love. And please remember that. Thank you. That was her skydiving, in case you couldn't forget.
Oh yeah, that was me skydiving. She's kind of saying like, oh, you're just enjoying life still, regardless of what's going on, just still loving life. But anyways, we kind of took a lot of time because we talked too much really quickly. But if anyone has any questions really quickly, or if they want to talk to us later, we'll be at the event they're going to